Henry farted really loud right before I'm about to eat this. But if it isn't a thing, and it can be a thing, well, it should be a thing. And I intend to make it a thing. Not a bad little box for December. Sorry for missing last week's episode, my friends. We all caught the dreaded C word, and we were all in the house, kind of down for the count last week. We just slept. That's pretty much the big thing that we did last week. And so I didn't have the energy to create an episode last week, nor did I really do anything on the homestead other than just lay around and sleep last weekend. So apologies for missing that episode, but we're back at it. I wanted to give you guys an update on how the turkey was. Our 47-pound tom turkey that we processed the other week. It was amazing. I'll give you guys an update on that here in a minute. But also to talk about something, I've got an idea. There's a lapse in, I see something that's incredibly wasteful, and I think I might have an idea for how to amend that to the benefit of homesteaders and farmers. But I may be missing some things. There might be some aspects of my idea that I'm not considering. So maybe you guys can help me with that. But first, I've got to get ready to get the teenage chicks ready for their big debut into the flock. And I need to start cleaning that up. They're getting bigger. And it's only a matter of time, probably just a few weeks now, before I'm going to open the door and let them out with the maid flock. This tom turkey is next. We're probably going to process him here, depending on how I feel. It might be after Christmas, I'm not sure, but I do have a lead on an open barrel that I can use to dip him in, heat that water up. We learned a lot of lessons when we processed the last tom turkey. One of them being that the equipment that we have isn't big enough to handle a bird of this size. So for tom number 2, we're going to use a burn barrel, an oil barrel, 55-gallon drum, which I can source locally for $15, refurbished ones. I'm gonna pick one of those up, not today, but this coming week. Probably get a chain to hang this guy from. Also, I wanted to thank you guys for your advice. I got hundreds of comments from my last video on the trespasser. We are taking action. I'm not going to get into the specifics on a public forum like this, but we are taking action. There was a lot of good advice, so thank you guys. And we're taking it seriously, and it is something that we're addressing. Again, I'm not gonna give the deets on exactly what we're doing, but this homestead will be safer for it. So thank you guys for those comments that you left. It was incredibly helpful. It's always somewhat dispiriting when we're in the middle of the winter. And just so you have a little bit of the context, the winter down here in East Tennessee isn't really about snow and ice. That stuff does happen occasionally, but it doesn't last long. The winter down here is about mud and wetness and dead trees and leaves on the ground and broken tree branches and gray skies. It's just kind of a colorless, sludgy, gross period where you can't really get much done. Things get dark at like 5 or 5:30, and it's just not the same as it is the other 3 seasons, spring, summer, and to a large extent fall. So it's just about taking care of what you can. Add to the fact this year I'm working a full-time job, anywhere from 50 to 70 hours a week. The winter for me is all about maintenance. In terms of my animals, it's just keeping up with animal chores for my pigs and my poultry. I will say one of my favorite activities in the world, not just on the homestead, but period, believe it or not, is cleaning the chicken run. I don't know what it is about scraping the poop off their coop roof and changing out their nasty soiled hay and putting new hay in, but there's something about chicken chores specifically that I just relish it. I don't know what it is. There's something very tactile and rewarding about seeing a chicken run transform from kind of a gross, smelly, poopy place to a rather pleasant little rather pleasant little spot. Now, I will say, cleaning up the pigsty isn't nearly as rewarding. It's rewarding when I move the pigs, but it's not the same in terms of satisfaction and something I look forward to. It is a muddy mess down in the pigsty. But the chicken run, the poultry run, I don't know, something about it just is really enjoyable to me. I can't quite articulate what it is. It's something I look forward to, especially after a long day of working inside. So the turkey, Butterball, peace be upon him. We brined some of his meat, his leg meat, right?
Leg and thigh.
Leg and thigh meat. We brined some of his leg and thigh meat. We brined some of his leg and thigh meat overnight, and then Holly put it in the oven. And you just tried some of that meat, right?
Oh, I did.
And it's incredible.
Oh, yes.
I have not tried it. This was a 50-pound bird, so we were unsure on how good this meat would be because of he was old, like he grew out much bigger than he should be, or than he should have gotten. So we had no idea how good or tasty this meat would be. So this is my first time trying it.
So just gently take the foil off.
So I want to show you guys what this beauty of a leg looks like. This is from our buddy Butterball the turkey. And you seasoned this with what, Holly?
Garlic, salt, pepper, sage, oregano,
Lots
butter.
of goodies, lots of herbs. Here we go. This is the fruit of our labors, and hopefully we'll honor the sacrifice of our Tom turkey. I don't know what just happened back there.
Henry farted really loud.
Henry farted really loud right before I'm about to eat this. Here we go. Oh, wow. Oh, that is good. Oh. Now, here's the thing. I actually got a ligament, but the meat around it
Right.
and the skin
Yeah. Get you another ligament-free piece.
is absolutely incredible. Let's bring you guys up closer. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, there we go. Get them out.
That is incredible. I don't know how you cook that, but that is absolutely incredible.
Glad you like it.
Thank you, Holly. What do you think, Henry? Is there another fart?
Yes. Good one. Yep. Talking out the backside.
Also, for those of you that have been wondering whether our turkey hens have been laying eggs, the answer is yes, they have. This is what a turkey egg looks like. It's slightly larger than a regular chicken egg, and it's speckled. It tastes like regular, the egg itself actually tastes like a regular chicken egg. The only difference, as far as I can tell, is that the shell is a little bit thicker and harder to crack. But yes, our turkeys have been laying a couple times a week, so we'll have a few of these in our egg haul every week. They've been good, so we'll keep taking them. And this one, for whatever reason, seems to have gold flecks in it. I'm just kidding, that's hay. So as I alluded to at the beginning of the video, I could use your guys' thoughts. You guys have been incredible in terms of commenting and giving me ideas. I came across an interesting situation last night, and an idea popped into my head. And this idea already might have been instantiated somewhere. There might be an organization that does this, but if there is, I'm not aware. And there's two simple ingredients to my idea. One is cracked eggs from grocery stores, and the second part of this idea is hungry pigs. Cracked eggs, hungry pigs. That's the fulcrum point of my idea. So last night I had to go to the grocery store to pick some stuff up. We had finally broken our self-imposed quarantine, and we were desperate for some food. So now that I'm better, I went out and I got some food. And I noticed as I was driving away from the grocery store that one of the employees was throwing away a couple cartons of eggs. And as this guy was dumping the eggs into the dumpster, I noticed that a lot of them were cracked. For whatever reason, he was actually opening the cartons and dumping the eggs in. I noticed that, like, in the carton, there's maybe one egg that was cracked and the rest went with it. And I thought to myself, man, that's an incredible waste. I understand that you probably can't gift that type of thing to like a food bank or a homeless shelter because there's a broken egg in it. It might not even be expired, but it's defective and therefore not fit for human consumption. But then I was thinking, man, my pigs love eggs. The shell, everything, raw shelled eggs, they love them. That's a treat for them. When we have extra eggs, or we break an egg when I'm collecting them from the chickens, I will give the pigs the eggs, and they will chomp them down. They'll eat them up. And so I got to thinking, any given grocery store, how many eggs do they have to throw away because of a cracked egg in a case? What's the amount per year, per month, that any given grocery store gets rid of in terms of eggs? They're not expired. They're still technically good eggs, but they can't be gifted to, like I said, like a food bank or a homeless shelter or something, because they're quote unquote defective. Those eggs could go to hungry pigs. They could go to composting for local farms and local homesteads. Is there some way, other than me just going around to grocery stores and asking the grocery store, hey, do you guys have eggs that you need to get rid of? Is there some sort of program or nonprofit or something where these these defective eggs, these cracked eggs with egg cartons with a cracked egg, one or more cracked eggs in them, where they can give those to farmers? They can give them to local homesteaders. Is that something that exists? Because if not, I want to start something like that. Again, it might be just as simple. There might be legal things involved, and it might be just as simple as we're not technically allowed to give this stuff to anybody because it's quote unquote defective. So we're going to put it in the dumpster, wink, wink, and feel free to go and pick it up, wink, wink. That might be the extent of it. Do you guys know? Is there anything stopping me from going to grocery stores and starting some sort of program where they set aside eggs that they have to throw out? If you work in a grocery store, I'd be curious. How many eggs does your grocery store go through where you just throw away perfectly good eggs because they have one bad cracked egg in the carton? I'm curious. This is a strange mission for me. Once I saw them throwing away all those perfectly good eggs, it really made me wonder. There's got to be some way to save those eggs. Save the eggs for the pigs. I don't know. I'm going to think of clever names for this, but I think it's something that is worth exploring. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there's some legal reason why this isn't a thing already. But if it isn't a thing, and it can be a thing, well, it should be a thing. And I intend to make it a thing. I'm going to look into this. That might be my grand legacy in life, is eggs for pigs. We'll see. Any information that you guys have, especially if you work at a grocery store, please let me know, because I'm very curious. I also wanted to mention there is an update. There has been some updates on the Barn Dough project. We'll fill you in on those updates soon. So again, stay tuned. Thanks for hanging out with us. And until we see you guys again next time, remember, as always, slowly, slowly.